Welcome back to the channel, guys. Here we have another video. We're going to talk today about tires. I've been meaning to make a review on the General Grabber X3s, which is the tires that I have on my vehicle, and what are the best tires in my opinion, or what do I recommend in terms of size, best bang for your buck for a GX460. Now for me, the size that I chose is 275, 65, 18, and I chose to utilize the OEM wheels. I'm satisfied with the wheels at this time. Now, again, if I receive a sponsorship for a rim, or perhaps I do have rims at home that I could or could not put on this vehicle, those would be 17-inch rims as well, just to let you know. But if we're going to talk about keeping it OEM plus like, and what I feel is the best bang for your buck, is that particular size. It's the 275, 65, 18, and in particular the tires that I chose is the General Grabber X3s. I love these tires. I can't stress enough how much I enjoy them. So I've had them on here for over a year plus. I've already put about 25,000 miles on the rim, so I have a good idea as to how they perform, not only on this vehicle and the other vehicles that I've had, and they're just very consistent. They're a 10-ply tire, so they are going to be on the heavier side, but again, I didn't go too big. So in terms of how much it affects the drivability and capability of the vehicle in stock form and on the street, it does not affect it too much. Now, I am wearing sunglasses right now. We're in sunny Florida. It's beautiful out here, and I'm just enjoying it. I got the sunroof visor open, so I got a little bit of light coming in here, and so this is how we're gonna do the video. Again, we're inside the GX. I thought this would be a good place for us to get to talk about the tires and how they've performed and how have they affected the vehicle since I've installed them. Simply car reviews. We're doing a one-take video. If I mess up when I talk or I give information that might be off, go ahead and comment down below and let me know if there's something I need to address, and I'll go ahead and do that. It's not a problem, guys. I really enjoy doing these videos, and I'm just having a good time, me, my brother, and everybody that's involved in the channel thus far, and with our new sponsorships that are coming down the pipeline, one that we've already received. We're just having a good time. I didn't anticipate that I would be getting a sponsor so soon in the channel, but I'm very grateful for that because I'm relatively small considering the viewership and how much subscribers. So if you want to support the channel, please go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it if you do that, and it'll help me to continue to see that you guys want me to put out more content, not only on the GX460, but we have a lot of vehicles that we need to put in the works. But again, we have to take the time. Okay, there's a GR Super right there. I used to have one of those. Do I miss it? Sometimes. I have my A6, so and we have other vehicles as well that we can enjoy, some sports cars. But regardless, let's get back on track and the point of this video. So in regards to the General Grabber X3s and the size that I chose on this car, I think it's a good combination. If you're gonna lift the vehicle the way I did, it works. Some people, I have received a comment saying that the back looks a little too high, the tire looks a little small, and in all honesty, in real life, when you look at it, it's not as bad. It grew on me. There is space there, but remember, there's functionality to it, and in terms of why it's that high, because of my suspension and the fact that the suspension that I put on here is to have constant weight, or for whenever you're going to go overlanding, camping, and you have your gear in the back, it's going to look more appropriate or more proportionate to how it should look. That being the case, I chose this size tire because I didn't want to affect too much my miles per hour, which it's not that much off. In addition to that, I also wanted something that wasn't going to affect me with my fuel efficiency too much, and something that's not impractical in terms of size, because sometimes we put too much tire. we're not doing aggressive, hardcore off-roading with this vehicle. We will be taking it off-road. That is a guarantee. That's something that we're gonna do in the works. We're gonna go ahead and plan a trip, an overlanding trip. Maybe we'll even take the Sequoia TRD Pro and something mild for that, because obviously it's a very expensive vehicle, and you know, it's stock right now. We don't want to try to damage it. Going back to the tires, that's why I chose this size tire. You could fit a spare tire underneath. Do I have one right now at this time with this particular size? No. But again, we didn't go too big. It's about a 32, maybe 32 and a half. The factory size tire is about I would say a 31 inch tire. And the way the tires feel, I generally run it around the factory PSI, anywhere between, I would say, 35 and maybe 40 PSI is what I run the tires at, and they feel adequate. And even with the suspension that I have, which is more firm than the factory one, it still does not feel bad. And we went on a long road trip. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I went to New York. I went there and back in this vehicle, and my efficiency wasn't bad at all. I was in the 18 mile per hour, 19, even 20 at times mile per hour range. I'll say I averaged for the whole trip about 18 to 19 miles per gallon, if I recall correctly. And that's due in part because I have a bigger size tire, and it's going to affect the gearing a little bit, but not too bad. So it does have more weight than the factory tire, so you're gonna feel that a little bit. And in addition to that, it's more aggressive, so you're gonna have that rolling resistance. You're gonna hear a little bit of the tire, but not too bad, which is why I went with the General Grabbers. I'm 100% satisfied with it, and again, I'm not being sponsored by General Grabber. I didn't receive any special discounts. I bought this tire the same as anybody else would. I didn't even use the shop that we have, you know, buying it under there to try to get some sort of discount from General Grabber. I simply went out and purchased it like any other normal consumer would purchase those tires, and I'm very happy with them. They perform well. They're the best bang for your buck. They look great. I love the X3s, the way it says Grabber, those little details in the tires. And you could get them black face or with the red with white lettering. So some people might be thrown off and say, well, those don't look like the X3s, because many people, when they get them, they want that red and white lettering. I went a little bit more low key on this particular vehicle because it's you know, it's, you gotta have the pinky up. It's a Lexus GX, so I went with something a little bit more conservative that may appear to be more OEM like. And do I get a lot of attention when I go out? I do have people that approach me and they look at it and they say, man, this vehicle looks well built. It looks different than a factory GX. And that was the whole point in why I went the direction I went. So the tires feel great. I've had 25,000 miles plus on these tires, and am I still satisfied? Yes, I am. I recommend General Grabbers for anybody. There are other manufacturers out there, BF Goodrich, you know, Nexon. You have so many other tires out there, and they may be great. They may work fine for you, but I'm going based off of my experience. I've used other brands, but when I went with the X3s, this is the third SUV / truck that I've used these General Grabbers on. I circle back to them because they just do the job right, the way that I like. And in my other vehicles, I have off-roaded or gone off-road with it, let's say it a more appropriate way, and love the way they perform. So I know that what I'm getting when I put these tires on, and I just wanted to share that with each and every one of you, that these tires just perform. They do the job the way that they're intended to. They feel great. They don't have too much weight. I do feel it, of course, but it's not bad at all, so I enjoy it. The best bang for your buck in terms of size and type of tire, I would say either you get an all-terrain or mud terrain. This mud terrain, to me, it's a good compromise between noise and drivability, because obviously the GX460 is well insulated. It's a very, you know, you don't hear too much wind noise from outside, and you don't want to affect that too much, right? And so that's why I went with these tires. I've had other type of tires and they're much louder than these. They didn't balance well. They just didn't feel right. But this tire, it just feels right. And if you need to, what you could do is you could play a little bit with that PSI, which is what I do. So sometimes I run a little bit lower, not too low, but again, around the factory spec is what I generally keep my GX at, and I'm very satisfied with it in the way it feels, and I'm pretty sure you will be too. So again, the tire size that I chose, 275, 65, 18 for the OEM wheels, and I think that's the perfect size for this vehicle. Some people may say, well, Steve, does it rub? Does it, when you flex, and you know, when you turn the wheel all the way? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've seen some of my friends, they have the Ford Raptor, and when you fully flex that in the rear, especially the one that comes with the 35-inch tire from the factory, that rubs in the back, and the back is where you normally don't rub. And so if you could imagine having an OEM setup and still rubbing, you know, I don't mind if it rubs slightly on my setup, which is aftermarket. I didn't change the bolt. If you've seen some of my YouTube shorts, there's a bolt that you can change that will give you slightly more clearance because you rub on it, and when you're, you know, factory height, it may rub slightly more. But remember this: the main thing when it comes to the tire size, it's not the lift that gives you the clearance, it's the appropriate offset. So, and the way the car is designed, some vehicles may not be able to accept a bigger tire without modifications. Let's get that out of the way. You know, I did not do a cab mount chop at this time. Will I do it in the future? Perhaps. But right now, all of that is factory. So I'm strictly speaking from a factory standpoint, and in my opinion, in what tire size would be best if you're gonna go with an OEM plus setup, or something that you don't have to go crazy trying to figure out whether you need to cut or whether you need to do any type of extra modification. I bought the tires, I did my research, and I just looked at the offset, and I said, I think that these tires would work as well as can be expected, and it rubbed slightly, and I went in with those expectations. So if we have those expectations, you want something aggressive, you want something that could fill in that wheel gap in a stock form, you know what? Go ahead and get these size tires. I have no issue with these tires. And remember, different manufacturers may run slightly bigger, slightly smaller. So with this particular setup, I knew what I was getting because I've had it in other vehicles as well. I recommend 275, 65, 18s for my GX460 and for your GX460. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I just want to share with you guys a brief review on my tires, and we'll do an off-road review once we start getting this vehicle off-road. But at this time, I haven't gone off-road. I'm strictly talking about the GX460 and how it performs on road and what tire size I recommend. If you want something that's more conservative in terms of size and you're not lifting it, you could go with a smaller size. You could go with a 265 70, which is it might rub less, or a 265 60 18, and you could go with the OEM size, so that way you could enjoy this type of tire and not have any rubbing whatsoever. So again, guys, I enjoyed making this video. Appreciate you guys, each and every one of you. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Do you think that these tires are good for this vehicle? What size tire do you have on your GX460? And should I go with 35s? Let me know. All right, guys, take care.